There is an island, roughly the size of the Netherlands, that the entire modern economy depends on. It builds the brains of every advanced phone, every fighter jet, every data center training artificial intelligence. If that island stops shipping for 90 days, the world would not slow down. It would seize. And a rival superpower has surrounded it with warships. First, the geography. Taiwan sits about 180 kilometers off the coast of mainland China, separated by the Taiwan Strait, a stretch of water narrower than the distance from London to Paris. On a clear day, you can almost see one shore from the other. But the geography that matters is not the coastline. It is the industry. One company on this island, Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Company, produces the overwhelming majority of the world's most advanced computer chips. The smallest, fastest, most precise transistors ever built are etched almost nowhere else on Earth. Not in America, not in Europe, not in China. Here. Now, why this is dangerous now? Three things have changed. First, artificial intelligence. The chips that train AI models are the single most strategic product on the planet, and almost all of them are made within sight of the Chinese coast. Second, military buildup. China's navy is now the largest in the world by ship count, and Beijing has made reunification with Taiwan a stated national goal. Chinese aircraft and warships cross the strait's midline almost daily. Third, the blockade option. Analysts increasingly believe China would not need to invade Taiwan to break it. It would only need to surround it to stop the ships and aircraft carrying chips out and fuel and food in. A blockade is not a single act. It is a tightening ring. China could begin with a customs quarantine, announcing that all vessels bound for Taiwan must first be inspected in the mainland port. Insurers, facing legal and physical risk, would raise premiums or simply refuse to cover the voyage. Then the squeeze. Taiwan imports almost all of its energy. Roughly half of its electricity comes from natural gas, and the island holds only days of reserve. Cut the tanker traffic and the fabrication plants, which run 24 hours and cannot simply be switched off without ruining the chips inside, would begin to go dark. Not in months, in weeks. But the damage would not stay on the island. Modern electronics are assembled from chips sourced across a dozen countries, but the most advanced layer almost always begins in Taiwan. Remove it, and the shortage cascades. Car factories in Germany stop lines. Phone makers in Korea miss launches. Defense contractors in the United States cannot complete missiles and radars that depend on a single missing component. One widely cited estimate puts the cost of a full Taiwan blockade in the trillions of dollars in the first year alone. A shock larger than the pandemic, larger than the 2008 financial crisis. This is why analysts call Taiwan's chip industry the Silicon Shield. The theory is simple. The island is so economically vital that no power could afford to break it. Not even the power that wants it back. Three forces now sit over the strait. One, the race to build elsewhere. The United States, Japan, and the European Union are spending vast public subsidies to construct advanced fabrication plants on their own soil. But the most cutting-edge chips still take years to replicate, and the deepest expertise remains on the island. Two, the strength of the shield itself. If the chip industry is what protects Taiwan, then every new plant built abroad very slowly thins that protection. 3. The timetable. Beijing has not named a date, but it has named a goal, and it is building the Navy to enforce it. Taiwan is not just a disputed island. It is the single most concentrated point of failure in the world economy, a place where one blockade could darken factories on every continent. The modern world was built on a supply chain that runs through one strait. Whether that strait stays open is now the most expensive question in geopolitics. That was Taiwan, briefly. Subscribe to World Briefly for more focused explainers on the next regional story that matters.